Hey, this is Josh Thompson with BecomingYourOwnBank.com here doing a video on infinite banking. I want to give a summary of what it is, and I wanted to do it visually so you could see. And I really wanted to hit on the main points that I believe really is what makes infinite banking what it is and so important. Now, if you're unaware, I want to just point out right at the beginning, infinite banking uses whole life insurance. If you didn't understand that or you hadn't heard that before, that's the base of infinite banking is this whole life insurance. And there's a lot of good benefits there. If you're against whole life insurance or you feel like whole life insurance is a bad thing just because of what you've heard, definitely check out our video on whole life insurance. I think you're going to learn a lot. You're going to see that whole life insurance maybe has a lot more benefits than you ever thought. But that being said, I just want to kind of jump into infinite banking and why I think it's very relevant, especially today. So there's really three things in my mind that make infinite banking so powerful. The first is opportunity and having opportunities in life. The second is opportunity cost, and that deals with the growth of our money. And the third is safety. So I want to just kind of jump into these, and we'll go over these one at a time. So the first here is opportunity. Now, opportunity and opportunity costs are going to be two different things. And I'll show you here why, but let's just talk about opportunity first to begin. So how does infinite banking give us more opportunities? Well, right now, today, in our day, a lot of people are being pushed towards government-sponsored plans. Now, government-sponsored plans include 401ks, IRAs, there's a lot of other things that can fall under here depending on what line of work you're in. But each of these plans is really what's being pushed today. You're auto-enrolled in a 401k. Ever since the late 70s, they've been auto-enrolling people in the 401ks, and they really have been this big push for 401ks. Now, aside from the flaws of a 401k as far as and IRAs as far as putting taxes for the future, and I'll put a little link here where you can watch our video on why deferring taxes isn't such a good idea. My main problem with 401ks and IRAs is the fact that this money here is locked away. You cannot access this money. I've heard stories, countless stories of people who started these in their 20s and 30s. They worked to build them up, and then they hit their 40s and 50s, and opportunities or need for money arises. So what I'm talking about here is, let's just say, opportunities for business, opportunities for investments outside of what you're allowed to invest in, or expenses. I've had many stories, many people that I've worked with who had $100,000 in their 401k. They're still working at their job. They can't access the money, and they have a business opportunity. They have a great investment opportunity. Or one of my favorite horror stories is weddings. I've heard many times where people have the money, but they can't access it, so they have to go into more debt, credit card debt, to access the money. So the 401k and IRA is not providing, in my mind, a great place to put money in order for us to have the opportunities and to take advantage of the opportunities that we're given. In my mind, the entire point of living in this country is being able to go and start businesses or go become good at some kind of an investment and be able to do those things. And I think that people's mentalities change so quickly that, you might start a 401k, like I said, in your 20s and 30s, and then by the time you're in your 40s and 50s, now you want to do something completely different. You can't access that money. If you do access it, you get extreme penalties. So it just becomes a nightmare for a lot of people and a headache for a lot of people. Infinite banking, on the other hand, or using whole life insurance, offers us a place where we can access this money. Whole life insurance policies are completely accessible however we want for any of these things, anything that we want, even past this. If you want the money, you can access it. And so that's where this idea of infinite banking becomes a real a really good thing for where we are in America today is because this money is accessible, and I feel like your money should be accessible to do with what you want. So the first thing here is opportunity, getting rid of places where you don't have opportunity and decisions with your money, and being able to take advantage of those opportunities. Now, the second thing that makes infinite banking such a brilliant light today is opportunity cost. Now, I have other videos that really tackle into these things, but I just want to briefly cover this because this is another big point here for infinite banking and the infinite banking concept. Infinite banking puts opportunity cost back in our corner. Now, most people through their lives, they start out by going into debt, and then what do? They transition into paying cash. And cash seems to be the way to go. Once they can earn enough cash to pay for something, then they do. Well, what happens? Opportunity cost is the cost that you pay by not letting your money accumulate. So if you had $20,000 today and you go and pay cash for something, you not only lose out on $20,000, but you lose out on the future value of what that $20,000 could have grown to. Now, most people don't take this into account, and so by the time they hit 60, 70, they've bought 10 cars and they have nothing to show for it. Well, what infinite banking is saying, and what we're saying by using whole life insurance to make these purchases is, look, you're going to do this cycle over and over again. You're going to save up $20,000. You're going to take that money. You're going to make a purchase to buy something. Then you're going to save that money up again, buy something, save it again, buy something. Well, you've lost out on the future value of that money by not investing it. In whole life insurance, we have access to our money. So you put this $20,000 in. We let this money grow, compounding for the rest of our lives. Now, at the same time, what we're going to do is we're going to take a loan based off of this money and pay that loan back. So we're constantly spending that same $20,000, putting it back in and saving it and putting it back in, the same cycle. We pay a little bit more in interest. But the earnings after 40 or 50 or 30 years, after years of compounding, are huge. So now this $20,000 has grown to $100,000, all by just buying this one car in a different way. And so that's what infinite banking or opportunity cost is. And that's the problem we're solving here with infinite banking, is that you're going to take your money, you're going to put it somewhere where it's going to compound. It's going to have a lot of advantages what the whole life has, meaning it's going to grow with no taxes. It's going to have some tax advantages when we die. It's going to have some death benefit. It's going to have some, accessibility, but it has all those advantages of whole life. But at the same time, we can use the money while our money is also compounding, and we're gonna be able to use it now, but also cover our opportunity cost and make sure that in the future we're gonna have that money. Huge deal, and I think this is really one of the main points of infinite banking, is just letting your money compound for the rest of your life. It's huge. So that's number 2. Now number 3 just comes to safety. All right, now the third part of this is safety. Now, there's really 2 sides to safety. There's safety for safe money, and then there's safety when you don't want risk. Okay? Now, the first part of this, safe money, I think is more obvious. So we have things like emergency funds, things that we're going to pay cash for, or that we would normally pay cash for. Okay, that's safe money number 1. What I mean is, let's say you have an emergency savings account. Where do you put that? You put it in a bank account or somewhere like that. So now you have this emergency savings fund for your whole life that grows at about 1% in a bank account for the rest of your life. That's a waste of money. It's a waste of earning potential. Whole life insurance offers us a place where historically we've gotten about a 2.2% rate of return on that money in some cases. Every case is kind of different, obviously, but historically around a 6.2% here growth in whole life insurance. So you have this emergency savings fund that you need access to the money, right? You need a place where you can get that money if you need it, but at the same time you don't know when you're going to need it. And when you're done using it, you hope to replenish it. Well, whole life insurance is offering us a place where we can access the money. So we have access to money, and we can put that money back in the whole life insurance when we're done using it. That's number one. Number two, here with the cash, the same story. Access to money, but it's better than a bank account because a bank account's going to have low growth. So just comparing whole life insurance to any other safe product is really what gives us the benefits here. If you put your emergency or cash savings anywhere else, you're going to get lower growth and less benefits. So let me just run through the benefits really quick. So we have access to money. You're going to have a death benefit. You have guaranteed minimum growth. It's going to have tax advantages. So you're going to get more advantages, and you're going to get better growth in whole life insurance than, a bank account, CD, bond, those kind of things, these kind of safe. So compared to any other safety vehicle, that's why we choose whole life insurance, just because it's better. Now that's safety part A. Now, safety part B is maybe you just don't want to take risk, or you want to take calculated risk. So, the market has been so up and down, it's hard to guess. There's certain people who just want out. They want out of the market. Well, whole life insurance, if you're looking for safety and just to get out of the market completely, you're saying, I'm done with the market. I don't want to be involved in this. I don't like the up and downs. I don't like the whole casino of the market. Well, whole life insurance is going to offer you the best place to put your money where it can be safe and get decent growth, okay? Now, on the other hand, there's people who want to make investments, but they want to make smart investment decisions. And that's where infinite banking and whole life insurance give you the best advantages. What I mean is, because now you have your money in a safe place, but you have access to the money to make those risky investments. So let me just tell you about one of my relatives. When 2008 rolled around, everyone was in a panic because the market dropped. Well, a down market is a discount market. Well, what my relative did was he took money out of his whole life insurance here, put it into an investment that he knew was going to be much less risk now because he understood the market. And then he picked up that property. He picked up some real estate for basically half off, and he's basically doubled his investment in the last few years. So what I'm saying is that whole life insurance offers us a place to make better investment decisions. You don't have to have your money in real estate or the market all the time. You put your money in whole life insurance and you wait. When time rolls around where you're getting a good deal, or you find something, or you have a business opportunity or any kind of opportunity that is a sure thing, you can take your money from the whole life insurance, put it into your opportunity here, and then recoup that money in whole life insurance and wait for the cycle to happen again. So there's two kinds of safety here, like I said, and each one, whole life insurance is just going to offer us a better place with better safety and access to our money. So just to kind of recap everything here, infinite banking is giving us a place with whole life insurance where we're going to get some good growth. We're going to have that opportunity to make those decisions when they arise. We have access to our money. We have opportunity costs now on our side because we're going to let our money compound for the rest of our life, whether we're using it or not. And then we have safety, a place that's going to offer us safety, some really good benefits, and we're going to have access to that money, and we're going to have some good growth also along the way. So hopefully this makes sense. We got some other good videos that kind of surround all these ideas. Check them out. And hopefully that'll give you a little bit more insight about what the infinite banking concept is and why it's so powerful. This is Josh Thompson. Thanks.